Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I am so grateful that you have joined us for this little while. We are on a trip through the chakras and exploring what each chakra represents, what kind of energy is present there, and we have made our way up to the throat chakra, which is a beautiful shade of blue, which if you've been watching me for any length of time you could probably tell is my favorite color. And I'm wearing today this blue chalcedony necklace, which I wear often because it supports the throat chakra. So the throat chakra is about communication, expressing yourself, and it's also about your thyroid. And your thyroid is all about taking care of yourself. So you ready? Let's get started. First, I'm going to introduce some stones that I have found invaluable. Well, I'll stay on camera. So the first one is, besides the blue chalcedony that I just showed you, is one that when I went to Sedona, or Tucson in February, I picked up a bunch of stones and all of them were blue. And this one is blue celestite. It's celestite. It's the only color it comes in. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love that stone. And look at this piece. It is colorful and covered with crystals all around. And to me, celestite, it has this kind of angelic bend to its name, hint, and celestite is about kind of connecting with the angelic realm, supporting ourselves both in taking care of ourselves and in speaking our truth. So I have 4 of these. I'll have a picture at the end of the meditation. If you're interested, they're only $30 a piece, and I was able to get a great deal, and I was thrilled because I couldn't wait to bring them home and offer them. And honestly, I got several more, but whenever anyone sees one, they want one. So that, and then I have this, which probably doesn't look all that blue at first. It's blue, it's kyanite, which is blue, or can be blue, and ruby. So that's what the red is in it. There's the blue in it and the red in it. And the blue and kyanite is really good for balancing, and the ruby is grounding. So those are, I think, $25 a piece. And, it's just like getting a ruby palm stone and a kyanite palm stone, both of which are so powerful, and then you combine them together. So that's, and then lots more blue stones. I have quite a collection of them, but those are just a few I wanted to mention. If you ever have any questions about stones, message me. I'd love to answer your questions. So you ready to meditate? Let's get started. Let's begin with our 3 nice, really deep breaths. First, breathing into the chest, the front of your chest. Just expand your rib cage. Hold it for as long as is comfortable, and then now breathe into your chest and your upper back. So feel your wings expand and all of your rib cage expand. Just fill up your rib cage. Feel the back of the skin in your back stretch out as you fill it up. And then release it nice and slowly. And now take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Fill up your chest, your rib cage, and your belly, all the way down to your tailbone. Just imagining filling up your entire torso with air. Just feel it expanding. Maybe expand just a little more, and then hold it for as long as is comfortable, and then now let's relax our bodies, drawing everything up to the midline. So press your feet and ankles together, your knees your legs. Let's relax our legs first. So just push everything toward the middle. Hold it for a moment and then, and now the torso. Draw up your pelvic floor. Pull your abdomen muscles in and your back muscles in, your side. Kind of give your whole torso a hug. If you want to, bring your shoulders forward and give your chest a hug, or bring them back and kind of spread out your chest, whichever feels more comfortable today. And just kind of squeeze it all your torso. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And now bring your fists up to your shoulders. Tuck your arms into your sides. Tuck your chin gently. Bring your shoulders up to your ears, and let's just relax our arms, head, neck, and shoulders. So just bring it all together there for one breath cycle. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. To me, this is the best part. I love this feeling. Squeeze, 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 and then let it go. And notice how good that increased blood flow is. So let's take a moment to let go. Let go. And I invite you to go into a deeper state of meditation than normal. So let go and go a little deeper. Let go and go a little deeper. And so the chakras run on an axis. It goes from below our feet. There's a minor chakra below our feet. Imagine like a meridian going from the center of the earth on this one beam of white light. So it connects with that chakra beneath your feet, goes up between your legs to your root chakra, which is red at the tailbone, connects with your orange sacral chakra just below your navel, and then your yellow solar plexus chakra just above your navel, your heart chakra, the green chakra at your heart space, and now the blue chakra at your throat. So let's give notice to the other two, which is your third eye chakra, which is behind your forehead, in the middle of your head, on that same axis from your tailbone to your crown. So that indigo, that bluish purple, and then the purple at your crown. So let's return our attention to the throat chakra. And it's kind of easy to think about breathing through the throat, because we literally do. And so what's at the throat? At the throat is our windpipe, also our voice box. And so let's invite in some healing for ourselves, for taking care of ourselves. So I have done a little bit of reading on the metaphysics of thyroids. And our thyroid represents taking care of ourselves, which means, at first putting yourself on the list, and then moving yourself up the list until when you wake up in the morning, you think, what do I need today? What does my body need today? What does my heart need today? My emotions? What does my soul need to express through me today? What does my infinite self need to express or want to express in, through, and as me today? And so I like to think of it as the ABCs awareness. You wake up and you're aware of being an infinite soul, being breathing. One presence moves in through and as me through my breath. And then C can be choosing, it can be clarity. And so I'm aware, I breathe, and I choose to focus on the infinite, to express the infinite, to express my infinite self. I seek clarity in this expression. If I don't know the answer, I ask my higher power. I don't know what to do. Give me clarity, please. Help me to understand. And I think some of that energy of that, of wanting clarity, is at the throat chakra. So if you have a question that's been muddling around in your mind or your thoughts lately, let's take a moment to just let that question percolate. And then in our next few breath cycles, also of silence or quiet, besides the music, let us give our higher selves the opportunity to provide the answer or the clarity. And sometimes the clarity comes with a reminder of our priorities. So it's not necessarily this is what I need to do or this is what I don't need to do. This is the action I should or shouldn't take. But what are my priorities? I choose to be a loving person, a kind person, a grounded person. And when we become aware of our priorities, sometimes everything else just falls into place. We intuitively know how to handle situations when we become clear on our priorities. And I strongly suggest that one of your priorities is to love yourself and take care of yourself. And so the other, energy that we think of for the throat chakra is, of course, our voice, finding our voice. And I love to hear children. Find their voice. I was in a store with my granddaughter today, and there were some young kids there, making sounds, obnoxious sounds in the store. And she made it back to them, like, look, dudes, knock it off. And I thought, gosh, here she is 4, and she's already finding her voice, and I love that. And I suspect that a lot of you listening to this were not allowed to have your voice when you were a child. Children should be seen and not heard, is what I heard growing up. Not necessarily directed at me, but enough around me to be aware of it. So let's picture that blue disc, your favorite shade of blue, in a disc right there at your throat. And if you do this, that's pretty common. Usually when I'm doing a chakra meditation, several people clear their throats when we get to the throat chakra. So feel that disc spinning on an axis right there at your throat. And then picture the white light that's moving up from the center of the earth all the way through your body. Picture it entering the center of that disc and spinning outward. And as it does, it releases anything that no longer serves you. Any of those beliefs that people don't want to hear what you have to say, or what you have to say isn't important or relevant. And as you release all the kind of misconceptions and all that energy that no longer serves you, allow a certainty to settle into your throat. A certainty that all is well, that you, going forward, choose your words well. You speak wisely and with care and love. Your voice is an expression of your infinite self, always. And I'm not sure why the time seemed to go so fast today, but to me it did. So let's just have a moment where we just kind of settle in, breathing through the throat chakra. Being open to any ideas of ways we can take care of ourselves. I've had some stressful things happen during the last week, and one of the things that I started doing was going into my sacred space and getting my sage and lighting sage, bundles of sage, and just smelling it and letting it kind of waft around the room. Sage, Native Americans or Native peoples have used sage, for millennia to clear spaces. It's part of their sacred ritual. So when I used sage this week, it was like a way of honoring myself. And I invite you to come up with some way this week that you can honor yourself in the precious, precious soul that you are and the precious being that you are expressing as here on earth right now. And I invite you to remember that you truly are whole and perfect exactly as you are. Your truth at your throat chakra, your truth is your truth. And I have had many experiences over my life where people have discounted my truth because they didn't want to hear what I had to say, or they didn't like my observations. But you know what? Your observations, your perceptions are valid because they are your perceptions. I invite you to wear blue this week, to look around, and every time that you see especially a shade of blue that you particularly like, to remember that your voice is important. What you have to say is valid and important. And again, you are whole and perfect exactly as you are, and your perceptions are valid and valuable. So I want to congratulate you. Thank you for listening. Congratulate you for taking this time for yourself, and thank you for tuning in to tune in next week when we're going to be talking about the third eye chakra. And for now, the infinite presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes the one presence and the one power moving in, through, and as you. Namaste. Have a wonderful week.